Hey everyone, welcome back to the Daily Gold Podcast. I'm speaking with my colleague Jeb Handwerger of goldstocktrades.com, and today we're going to talk about a company named Corvus Gold. I actually recently interviewed the chairman and CEO, Jeff Pontius, and Jeb and I, we actually met on International Tower Hills mine tour. Jeb was unable to make the Corvus mine tour, which I went on. And that's how we both became more familiar with both companies and also Corvus. And Jeb, before we get started talking about Corvus, obviously this is a very difficult market, a little reminiscent of 2008. But I mean, if you look at the chart on gold, gold, it's down about 20% from its high. It went down 30% in 2008. Hasn't really, broken any long-term support. It still looks very healthy. Do you agree?
Yeah, Jordan, I really do agree. And times like these that are so volatile and where there's so much emotion involved in the marketplace, post a Federal Reserve decision, it's really important that gold and silver investors take a step back and really look at those long-term charts, the weekly charts. Instead of looking at the 6-month or a year chart, look at the 2-year chart, the 3-year chart, the 5-year chart, and the 10-year chart, and they'll all show a very strong uptrend. And the people that have been saying that it's a gold bubble or now it's the end of the 10-year market, or they've been wrong. The pullbacks for the past 10 years have been buying opportunities. Yes, we may see short-term volatility continue for the next few weeks, but we really think it's a buying opportunity. We think that there's great values to be found in the junior miners right now. So it's a time for investors to not follow the herd and be panicked out of their positions, but to really look to see where they can add to their positions on weakness or pullbacks. So that's what really I think investors need to keep in mind right now.
Okay, with that being said, let's discuss Corvus Gold, which it is a sponsor of the Daily Gold, and I believe it's also going to be a sponsor of your free newsletter. So we're putting that out there for full disclosure purposes. But Jeb, first let me talk about the technicals on Corvus real quick. Obviously, we're in a tough market here, and you have to be careful with a lot of these types of companies because they can just drift lower and lower. You think it might be cheap, and then it can go down another 30%. But, Corvus just came out. It was spun off towards the end of 2010. And, it declined from about $1.15 down to 50 cents, where it built a base in July and August. Then it rocketed all the way up to 90 cents. It's come back down to 50 cents. It's trading at about 57 cents right now. Technically, I feel very comfortable that Corvus is probably going to hold 50 cents and make some kind of a long-term double bottom. Sure, it could dip below 50 cents for a day or two and, perhaps even go a little bit lower than that. But, I mean, technically speaking, I think the risk-reward is very favorable if you can get an entry point near 50 cents. It closed at 57 cents today. Now, so with that being said, based on the technicals, let's talk about the fundamentals. And obviously, Corvus is very intriguing because the capital structure, it only has, I think, 42 million, 41 million shares. As of a month or two ago, it had something like 8 million in cash, and really some excellent projects, and obviously a tremendous management team that has a track record of success. So you look at all those things together, I think it's very intriguing and something that our listeners should really take a look at here in the short term. So Jeb, what are your thoughts on Corvus?
Well, Jordan, we met at the Tower Hill mine tour, and the management of Corvus, Jeff Pontius, the chairman and CEO, and Dr. Russell Myers, were the ones that really helped Live and Good reach the state where it's at today, where it has 16 million ounces of gold. These guys have a proven track record of discovering these huge deposits, and now they've taken some of the great assets from Tower Hill, and including this North Bullfrog project in Nevada, and they have a very interesting story. What's interesting about a junior with a market cap of 23 million is you have to take a look at the major shareholders in this small company. We're talking about Tocqueville Asset Management, John Hathaway, AngloGold Ashanti, uh, institutional ownership of close to 33% of the company. So that's very intriguing from a financial perspective. Also, the way they set up the company, where they have uh, royalty exposure and joint venture projects in Alaska. So there's a lot of things that are very interesting about this small junior, and there's a lot of potential catalysts coming over the next few months.
And let's talk about some of those catalysts. I mean, I'm a little bit more familiar than you, I think, with the Alaska projects, but you've been studying their North Bullfrog project in Nevada. And when I interviewed Jeff, he said there's going to be a new resource estimate out shortly. So, can you add any color to that on the North
Yeah.
Bullfrog project?
Well, I'm really excited because I expect to go out there and be able to kick around the tires and check out the rocks in a few weeks. But one thing that I've always tried to reiterate and impart on my readers is the importance of the mining jurisdiction. Nevada, we all know, is one of the best places to mine gold. You can work in this location where North Bullfrog is year round, and it's extremely a straightforward oxide type mine. And right down the road from another mine, the Reward Project, which is about to produce 40,000 ounces a year. And what's interesting about this Reward Project is that the capital costs are extremely low. It's like $28 million. So what Corvus is hoping is that they can get a resource, a sizable resource up and running to get a PEA probably in by the mid 2012, and start developing this with a partner or junior that's looking for production. So they're rapidly developing this project. It's called North Bullfrog because it's right near the Bullfrog mine that was Barrick's property, where they produced over 2.5 million ounces of gold. It's very close to that. So there's a lot of potential here for this resource estimate with the drilling program that they completed, which was, I think, 17,500 meter program. I'm really excited to see what this updated resource is going to look like. It sounds like an oxide mineralization, so it's very straightforward, and it can become, the next major Nevada mine.
Yeah, and also their assets in Alaska, which I was able to see, are very intriguing. Um, they have a joint venture at the what's called the Terra Project, and they're actually expecting some small scale production there. And I've talked to my subscribers about the exact figures and what potential cash flow numbers they could be looking at next year. But that's the mill is being constructed there, and it's going to run about a ton per hour, so about 20, maximum of 24 tons per day. And this is high grade ore that they found a high grade vein there at the Terra project, and so that's where they're going to start small scale production from. I'm not exactly sure on the grades, but I think they've been ranging from about half an ounce to potentially 1 to 2 ounces per ton. I mean, that's going to bring, and that's going to start likely next May. So that's going to bring the company some cash flow, and that's always advantageous for a junior company, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, and that's really what's so crucial in this market. Investors are looking for deposits that are going to have catalysts that are going to be straightforward. They're going to have lower capital expenditures. What's so interesting about this company is the financials. I mean, the way they set up this company is very interesting, where they're bringing in these strategic partners in these different joint ventures. I mean, their burn rate's 200,000 a month. That's very low for a junior. I mean, especially having $6 million in the bank and having no debt. They have a lot of catalysts going on ahead. It seems like shareholders are going to, they're not going to be they're going to have a less risk than a traditional junior that's out there and constantly drilling and taking all the risk. the way they set up the share structure is very intriguing for a junior mining investor.
Right, and also in Alaska, they own a joint venture, or they sold part of their interest at their Chisna project to another company that has to contribute 20 million in exploration over the next couple years to earn in their interest. So, and the Chisna project has a massive land position, or it spans about nearly 1,000 square kilometers. So, I was up there and I saw it. It's spectacular scenery, and so I mean, they already have two really excellent projects. I think, in the opinion of both of us, the Terra project is going to bring a cash flow, and obviously the North Bullfrog project has significant potential. It's in a great jurisdiction, and on top of that, they have as I said, a massive land position with this Chisna project up in Alaska, where their partner is going to be spending the majority of the money. I just think if you look at all of those things, and obviously you look at the track record of Jeff and Russell, and it's very impressive the way they've structured this company. And as you noted, the institutional support they're getting from some big names, it looks really, really good. And
Yeah.
what can you say? We're in a difficult market here, but at some point we're probably going to see a bottom. And so Corvus is a junior that you really want to research and keep your eyes on. Final thoughts, Jeb?
Yeah, one thing that I've really learned about the team that's running Corvus right now, Jeff Pontius and Russell Myers, is they really know Alaska, and they've had the experience there, they've had the success there, and they really have the know-how there. To really make some advancements and these are great projects. With the West Pogo project, very similar to Tech's Pogo mine. There's a lot of catalysts going forward for this company, and again, they're in two great mining jurisdictions. So it's an exciting project that investors should be monitoring.
Okay, well, on that note, Jeb, thanks for your time today, and we'll talk to you again.